guaranteeing that this horse is going to win the Triple Crown. The Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. 3 races, 3 states, in just 5 weeks. Hasn't been done in 25 years.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Right there, that's a clip from Secretariat that's now playing in theaters. So, should we see it, rent it, or skip it? Of course, there are a couple other movies. We're going to ask our movie critic, fatguysatthemovies.com. Kevin Carr now joins us with that answer. And Kevin, this is based on an award-winning horse back in what, the 70s?
The early 70s. Yeah, Secretariat. It's the true story of the horse that you know, and it's a very legendary horse. And it's the story of the people trying to make the horse a champion. And it stars Diane Lane as the woman who owns the horse, and John Malkovich, who trains the horse. And it's in this tradition of Disney inspirational sports movies. And it's done very well. It looks great. It's very inspirational. It's exciting. It's got the drama. It's got the sort of the real life aspect to it. And you know, it's an inspiring movie and a good, solid, clean movie too.
Okay, so Diane Lane and then John Malkovich. Is John kind of his weird, quirky self, or is he a little toned down? Diane Lane, how is she? Oh,
she's fantastic. I've always loved Diane Lane. And John Malkovich, he always plays John Malkovich, but he's very boisterous and colorful in this movie. So there's some great performances, and as you can tell, it just looks great, too.
Okay, well, you know, how do these compare to the other inspirational movies? Like we were talking about Seabiscuit was one, you know, I think their last horse inspirational movie.
That was the last one about a racehorse, but Disney does stuff like, you know, it didn't Remember the Titans and Glory Road and Invincible. So it has all those buttons that it's pushing, just kind of giving you something to cheer for.
Okay, see it, rent it, or skip it?
I'm going to say see it.
Okay, see it. So it's that good?
Movie. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so next, Life as We Know It, about 2 single people who raise a child together, but not under the best circumstances. Josh Duhamel and Katherine Heigl. How is this?
Well, this one is, it's a romantic comedy, but since they do have, they're a couple and they're godparents to a child, and so when the parents get killed, they take them. So it does deal with that more heavier issues as well, and it does try to be that standard chick flick romantic comedy. It has its moments. It pushes the right buttons at times. I like Josh Duhamel. Not a big fan of Katherine Heigl myself.
I think every girl likes Josh Duhamel, so Amy, you're not alone.
He's a good-looking man, I'll tell you. But Katherine Heigl, you know, if you like Katherine Heigl and if you liked her movies like 27 Dresses and Knocked Up and that sort of thing, that's sort of like the deciding factor.
Okay, so and it is one of those unique situations that's not been done before.
Yeah, I really haven't seen this in a movie before because they hate each other and of course they have to raise the kid together, and you know, it's the setup that works in the movie.
Okay, quickly, see it, rent it, or skip it?
I'm going to say rent it.
Rent it.
Barely.
Okay, so barely rent it.
Yeah, barely.
Okay, so this is the one you really wanted to get to, the horror film from Wes Craven, My Soul to Take. What is this all? Just go.
Okay, you know me, I love horror movies, and I love the fact that they got horror movies in October again, which they don't always have. And Wes Craven's classic. He did The Hills Have Eyes in the 70s, Freddy Krueger in the 80s, Scream in the 90s. This one he's trying to recreate with a slasher film about a guy who thinks he's the reincarnation of a slasher. This is a terrible movie. It is almost worth seeing to know what not to do with a horror movie. There's nothing, no aspect of the film, the writing, the directing, the acting, the casting. It's in 3D, and it's terrible 3D. It's a conversion process. It's not done well.
Oh.
Everything about this movie is sort of soulless and trite and awful.
Okay, so not scary at all, and I'm going to go on a limb and say skip it.
This is a skip it. This is not the worst of the year, but it's going to be up there in my top 10.
All right. Kevin Carr, fatguysatthemovies.com. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa.
I didn't know a horror movie.